betul drastik supaya tidak ada nyawa lagi yang mati.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings. I am Muhammad Ikhwan bin Musi and together with you, we will be watching a video titled Breaking the Silence, a philosophical look at school bullying. Every day, many students experience bullying in silence. What may seem like a joke to some can leave lasting emotional harm to others. In general, bullying is defined as repeat harmful behavior that involves an imbalance of power and is intended to hurt or control another person. Let us now watch the details presented by Group 3 KDE4.
To better understand this issue, let us begin by looking at bullying from different philosophical perspectives. First, from epistemological perspective, how can we truly determine and prove that a behavior is bullying rather than just a normal conflict between individuals? From an epistemological perspective, bullying is understood through academic research and empirical studies that define it as repeated aggressive behavior involving a power imbalance and intended harm. Knowledge about bullying is derived from philosophical and educational research that categorize bullying into physical, verbal, relational, and cyber forms. Now, moving on the values behind a healthy school environment. From a zoological perspective, what values make a school environment considered good, and to what extent are these values undermined when bullying occurs? From a zoological perspective, a positive school climate reflects important moral and social values such as respect, safety, cooperation, discipline, and supportive relationships. Bullying violates these values because it creates fear, harms student well-being, and disrupts a healthy learning environment.
Next, let us consider the ethical dimension of bullying. From an ethical perspective, can bullying ever be considered moral in any situation, or is it always wrong because it violates human dignity and individual rights? Bullying is morally wrong because it causes emotional and social harm to others, affects students' sense of belonging and well-being, and violates the value of fairness, respect, and human dignity. Research also shows that students who feel less connected to their environment are more likely to experience victimization and aggressive behavior.
In addition to ethics, different philosophical traditions also offer their own perspectives. From a Western perspective, bullying is defined as repeat aggressive behavior involving an imbalance of power between the bullied and the victim. Western researchers emphasize that bullying is not only physical aggression, but also a social and psychological process where the victim becomes increasingly powerless.
Meanwhile, from an Eastern perspective, bullying is viewed as a serious disruption to social harmony and group balance, as it violates the cultural belief on respectful relationships, mutual responsibility, and community contagion. Rather than focusing solely on punishing the individual, the priority is restoring harmony and repairing social relationships to maintain stability within the group. From an Islamic perspective, bullying is strictly prohibited because it opposes the values of brotherhood, compassion, respect, and good manners taught in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad emphasized that Muslims should not oppress, insult, or harm one another. Hadith riwayat Ahmad, Bukhari, and Muslim.
Given these perspectives, it is important to consider practical actions to address bullying. Bystander peer intervention is important in addressing bullying in schools because students who witness bullying can influence whether it continues or stops. When bystanders take positive action, such as supporting the victim or refusing to encourage the bully, it reduces the bully's social support and helps stop the behavior. It also helps the victim feel less isolated and more supported. Programs like HIVA shows that encourage positive bystander behavior is an effective way to reduce bullying by changing how students respond in this situation.
In summary, bullying is not only a disciplinary issue, but also a moral, social, and human issue. Through knowledge, values, compassion, and collective responsibility, schools can become a safer environment for everyone.